Hello, welcome to NX After Dark. It's very dark now that the summer has come to an end. So pitch black in Denmark right now. And today I want to look into this new, I think it's new, must be something NX 12 something. So standalone project configurations where we, instead of having one big Workspacejson or maybe AngularJson if you're used to Angular, we can split them into having just one config per project inside of the project directories. So it'll be a Projectjson, and there will be one entry in our Workspace.json configuration file pointing to that project-specific configuration. Even the tags from the NX.json file will also be part of this Project.json configuration file. So let's have a look how we can do that. We're working with this the Angular 2 of Heroes routing tutorial. I converted that to an NX repository instead of Angular CLI workspace, so now it's an NX workspace. I did that in previous episodes. And we are already starting to see quite a few projects here, and we only really split up one feature feature or domain or whatever you want to call it into the libraries that are already or should be available, in my opinion, in this feature, the Crisis Center. So the rest of them are some shared ones. They have a couple of hero features. I guess this one is empty right now. And yeah, so everything has just been moved from the main Angular app. Originally, it was one project, like many are. Now there's only an app module, an app component, and an app routing module left. So this is then pointing or referencing lazy loading to our different features here. Okay, so looking at our Workspace.json currently. So this is using the Workspace.json version 2 schema rather than the AngularJSON version 1 schema. NX does support both, but we're starting to see some significant changes now. And this is one of them, that now we can split into a configuration inside of each project folder. And if we take the Angular library generator, for example, and we wanted to create the feature shell for the heroes domain, we see that somewhere here there is an option to standalone config. So if we did run that, we see that, sorry, I'm having some issues with VS Code lately. Don't know which extension is crashing all the time. So we see that we're getting this Projectjson. It will be here, right here. Looks like so. Has all the properties that are normally in the Workspace.json, and then it has tags. I forgot to add some tags. But they will be here, similar to, usually they're here inside of the NX.json in the projects object with all the different tags that we have added. And you can set up the tags you want. I've used some conventional ones here, but I'm still to add linting rules for enforcing the boundaries between these different tags. We'll set that up in another episode. So basically, if we go to the standalone project configurations, all of this will disappear. And the Workspace.json file will have just one line per project, like so. So that's what we want to do. Let's discard these changes, and I'm going to one by one. Oh, man, I wish I knew what extension is crashing all the time. This has been such a pain today. I'm going to migrate our existing projects. I'll delete this empty folder again. And we're just, I doubt someone created a migration schematic for this, so I'm going to be doing it manually, which is not that bad. I'll rather do it now than once I have 5 times the amount of libraries. So let's just go through them. Starting at the top, we have this admin feature page. So we will go to the admin feature page library, and where was that? Oh, where was that Projectjson again? Have to make sure I put it in the right directory. So creating a standalone config. Where does that go? It goes in, yeah, just the root folder of the project. Okay, good. So I will go to add feature page. I will add project.json. Now I will take this whole object, put it in here, and add one more right here called tags. And let's see if we can find the tags in NXJSON. Here it is. So placing this, there we go, removing it here, and in our Workspacejson, it should say, let's see, libs, and what was it, like, yeah, this one. Yes. Yeah. When I generated it, it was like so, but that's because I'm on Windows. But Windows does support / as well, so unless certain tools that don't, but most of the time it does. So this should actually be good for. Now we migrated this one project. So let's see if we can still, I don't know, build it. No, it doesn't have build. It must have a test feature page. Can we test it? Come on now. Oh yeah, it's going. Good. It failed, but it ran, so I'm happy. I'm happy. So that works. That was one. Move admin page feature to standalone project configuration. Yeah. Okay, so that was the first one. Let's see. Oh, nice. You have some questions. So, Gregory, there's an official schematic to handle the update. Oh, really? Nice. Oh, cool. Well, let's try that then. Awesome. And Ryan, do the NX tags move out of NXJSON and into the separate Projectjson file? Yeah, they do. They do. So now that I migrated this one project, let's try this schematic that Gregory is mentioning here. NX generate, now on workspace, convert to NX project, all. If I knew which extension was messing things up for me, man, I would uninstall it. Oh, cool. Okay. So now all the projects here are gone where the tags were in NXJSON. So I'll delete this whole project property. And now Workspacejson. Oh, nice. Let's go look at that Workspacejson in full length. Here it is. I'll just replace with /. I don't like the backslashes. Oh, this is getting annoying. Crashes all the time. Okay, so look at this. Now we have a 40-line configuration instead of, I don't know how many hundreds we had before. Yeah, more than 300, right? 327. So big improvement. And so why, and thank you very much, Gregory, for mentioning that official schematic, migration schematic or generator. That's very nice. So I'm just going to commit this, migrate projects to standalone configurations. So why would we do this? I think that having them in separate files instead of this one file will lead to fewer merge conflicts when working on, especially on the larger repos where we're adding libraries and projects and targets and all of that all the time. So yeah, I mean, it'll be a lot easier to resolve whether one line goes here or there. So I really expect this will lead to a lot fewer merge conflicts. So that's great. And the other thing, I think this could lead to more efficient affected detections, because we will. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is it'll take more time. It has to load all these files, right? But still, I don't know, say we had 200 projects, 200 files is not that slow to load, I guess. So yeah, but I don't know if there's a real performance issue. I mean, also takes some time to load thousands of lines of JSON in one file. So I don't know, but certainly. Oh, Gregory, which version of NX the backslash issue should be fixed? Well, I'm on, let's see. I don't know. Oh, that was Angular. NX. I'm on 12.8. And yeah, I mean, I could do a migrate. And we could check it out. Yeah, so why would we do it? Well, for fewer merge conflicts. And that's a big one. I mean, I don't know how much time I'm spending resolving merge conflicts in AngularJSON or Workspace.json or NX.json. So yeah, I think I'm going to start using this. The only downside I see is this probably doesn't work in, I mean, maybe it does, but I don't expect it to work with the version 1 schema, the one that's normally used by Angular CLI. And yeah, and then sometimes you need to stay on that one with certain Angular schematics, especially like some of the NGRX ones and NG2 charts and some other libraries. They don't work. At least the last few times I tried, it didn't work with NX workspace schema version 2. All right. Yeah, this is really slow. And I hope it will also migrate Angular for me. I'm still on version 12.1. This was fetched from the Angular.io website. If it's not fixed in 12.9, Gregory will have another look. Okay. Well, I mean, it's perfectly valid to have these backslashes in Windows. But yeah, why not have it? I mean, not everyone on this project is going to use Windows probably, so I'd rather have it cross-platform compatible. The latest release was a few days before the commit got merged. Oh, okay, so there was a fix or improvement for this one, but it's not in the latest release. Okay, well, thank you, Gregory. Let's migrate this workspace anyways, so that we're on the latest version. That's always nice. And then I guess we can, I mean, Gregory, if you have any insights on to whether affected is more efficient or more precise when using Projectjsons, I'd love to have some feedback on that. There was a few major versions ago, or at least in version, was it 10 or 11? Like I was always affecting all the projects every time I was adding a library because it affected the AngularJSON or Workspacejson or whatever, and NXJSON. I think since then you added some rules. No, I thought there were some more precise rules for some of this, for detecting changes. But that must be some internal things. I thought it was a more precise configuration here in these implicit dependencies on the global configuration files. By the way, I should really, this needs to be changed to Workspacejson now that I'm not using AngularJSON anymore in this workspace. I changed the name. So that's a good one to. Man, my extensions are just breaking today in VS Code. Wonder which one it is. What is this one? Extension host process, remote call. Code 0 exit failed due to an error. Nothing. Nice. Oh, this is the Thunder client. Okay. Oh, also the NX console. Basically everything. Okay. I won't get much help from that one. Okay, so how far are we with this migration? Still something missing. It's getting there. Okay, Gregory. So with the default NXJSON, this does help a bit since we have the implicit dependency that links Workspacejson to all files. But if you remove the dependency, NX hashes only what's needed. So what's the recommendation? Should I remove this entry? Probably not. I mean, the configurations in there will potentially affect all or some projects. Nah, it's mostly generators, things that are left here. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't really affect much at this point when all the project-specific settings are now in separate files. And because the Projectjsons are inside of the project folders, they are also in the root folders, so they will be detected as belonging to this project. So changes in them will affect this project, I guess. That's the way I'm thinking. Okay, so we downloaded everything, and if we keep index.json dep, then Projectjson helps index affected. If you remove it, then they should be equal. Okay, so I will keep this one then. Okay, thank you for the advice. Okay, so yeah, so I forgot to share my screen before when I was saying that the project files are inside of, for example, this project library, which is the root property here. So I guess a change to this file will be count as affecting this project. So that's nice. And what's left here in Workspacejson now is what I have at least is generator settings, a default project, a default collection of plugins, and a schema version. And I mean, I guess the schema version will affect something in the projects, but generators, default collection, yeah, that's not really affecting the project much. But, Okay. Yeah, we're doing a migration. The extension host crashed again. Let's finish this migration to the latest NX and Angular, hopefully. Fixes invalid import paths for buildable and publishable libs. I don't have buildable and publishable in here, but whatever. So what's the command? Like nx migrate run migrations JSON. I lost the output. Or should I install the dependencies first? I don't remember. Oh, I definitely need to correct workspace configuration name. I think I'll try, what am I using here? Yarn? I think I'll try yarn install first. These new dependencies, Angular 12.2, now all, or NX 12.9. And while we wait for that, Michael, have a question. Off topic, is there anything you're missing in Nginx component store from the Nginx store? No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm using component store for everything now. I mean, the only thing that's immediately obvious is the Redux dev tools for Nginx. There's not currently, that I'm aware of, a public plugin for Nginx component store to the Redux dev tools. It would be possible to do so, I think. But I mean, that there's always an issue with that, because to have them be very useful, you have to have everything integrated to that. So if we start moving some things in global store, something in component store, I mean, the whole state will not really be visible in the Redux DevTools. So what will they, how much will they help realistically? I can tell you about the things that I'm not missing, and that's the actions and Angular modules. Angular modules for configuration just makes everything worse. So I'm very happy with component store compared to Nginx store and effects. And I like that it's flexible in that when you have a component store service, you can make it injectable provided in root to make it a global store, or at least something that's shared between multiple services or components. And you could make it a view provider or provider, a component level one, or you could even make it a platform provider using the platform provider scope. So that's really flexible. And yeah, I mean, you're going to manage the place that that provider is placed unless you're using root or any or platform, the provider scope shorthands. So that's the downside here is if you're using component level providers for component store, you have to, like, as soon as you start to sharing it in, let's say, a page with multiple components, sharing it between them has some shared state. You're going to have to be very aware of that view provider or providers in the component, the parent common component. And that can be a little hard to keep track of. But then again, modules are even harder to keep track of. Okay, we installed the dependencies, and now I think this is the command, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Or maybe I should have committed this first, I don't know. Lock the dependencies. And then Package.json has been updated. There are no migrations to run. Make sure Package.json changes make sense, and then run yarn. There is a what? Okay, so this is not the correct command. Help me out here. What's the command for running this migrations file? nx migrate help. Help, show help. Okay, that doesn't do me any good. Help, migrate. That doesn't help me either. Migrate, help. Oh, here's something. Run migrations. Strange. All right. Let's try that one. You're looking forward to reading my book? Yeah. Today is what? Wednesday? Tomorrow it's being uploaded to the bookstore sometime tomorrow, Thursday the 30th of September. And then it will take 3 days. I don't know if it's 3 calendar days or if it's 3 working days. Then it should be available in most online bookstores. And of course, the printing and the distribution of that will start as soon as possible, I believe. So yeah, it's very soon, and everything's done. So that's great. Okay, migrations are done, but there was no change because of this, because I don't have buildable or publishable libraries in this workspace. So now I can delete this one, and I'm fully up to date. Great. I'll push these changes. And yeah, that's all I wanted to do in this stream. Oh, let's see. You don't have to specify a file like that, just if it's a different file than normal. Okay. So what? I could just lift out this one, and it would have detected that file. Maybe try that next time. Hello. I'm just about to end the stream. I have just, I mean, I could do another one, but I have just finished migrating to standalone project configuration. So now every project in the workspace has its project properties and its tags, which means that now Workspacejson is much leaner. There's not as much in here, just one entry, one line of code per, or one line of configuration per project. And nx.json likewise doesn't have the tags in here as well. So it's nice to have more stable common configurations that will lead to a lot fewer merge conflicts, and might even be more effective on the NX affected command. So yeah, I don't know. So maybe I'm kind of a little interested in whether this path has anything to do with affected, like, or does it have to read the project configurations inside of here, or does it detect all changes inside of that folder without having to read the file that also states root is exactly the same? If I chose the right library, right? Here, exactly the same. It's interesting. Oh, now I understand, Craig. NX migrate run migrations, and I don't have to specify the file name if it's the one generated automatically. Rewatch the video. Yeah, it was first I was migrating one project manually, and then Gregory was nice enough to let me know of this official migration. So that's my recommendation for today. Now a workspace convert to NX project all. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. That was really nice. And oh, Craig, let's try this. Let's try generating a library now, and with the standalone config, and then something. And let's see whether the Workspacejson entry has backslashes or forward slashes. It still has backslash. So yeah, you were also saying that this fix has not been part of the latest release yet. So yeah, okay, I'm going to end the stream. Might start another one, doing some. I'll do some. Yeah, I think I'm going to convert another domain to shell libraries and features and all of that, just for practicing and showing it again. And I'm starting to think about writing an article about feature libraries. I'm doing research for a talk about Spectacular and feature testing with Angular testing library and Spectacular, because I'm going to do a talk at NG Poland in 2 months from now in person about Spectacular feature testing. So that's going to be great. But feel free to join. It's on this YouTube channel, and I'll tweet about it. I'm going to start another stream in a few minutes. So one last comment here. If all other projects use standalone config, it's the default too. So you don't have to keep specifying the flag. Okay, that's good to know, because otherwise I would have to add it to my generator default options. And thanks for the inside information, Gregory. I noticed this standalone option, standalone config, so I was a bit curious as to what it did. So just wanted to explore that, and I can really see the benefit of, yeah, both from merge conflicts. Also, I guess it's a lot more, it's easier to look at one file with 20 lines of code instead of this big one with hundreds of thousands of lines of code. So interesting thing. The only thing I'm worried about is backward compatibility with the some of the Angular schematics that don't deal well with new schemas in workspace configurations. Oh well. But that's it for this session. I'm going to start another one. Feel free to join me, and keep learning.